Friendships. So I have been thinking about my friendships, past and present, and I've been sort of reflecting on some of the friends that I've had to let go, right, as I've grown as a person. And one of the things that I've realized is that there are a lot of unspoken truths to the end of a friendship. And I've started to piece together why letting go of old friendships is one of the best things that you can do, not just for yourself and your own peace, but also for the other person as well. From my own experience, what happens when you and your friends are at a different stage of growth, where you guys are experiencing different rates of growth, what tends to happen is there starts to become a tension, right, in the friendship, right, in terms of different values, in terms of different beliefs, or even maybe you start seeing things a little bit more clearly, that maybe in the past you would have sort of turned a blind eye to. And now you see things a little bit more objectively, and you're starting to reevaluate different parts of the friendship. And I think it's that tension, that growing wedge between the different rates of growth between somebody that you know and yourself, that ultimately, if not mended, will end in a friendship breakup. I'm sure that if you're watching this video, right, you've gone through some sort of breaking up of a friendship, right? And you might have asked yourself, you know, maybe I could have saw this coming in some way, right? Or like, what were the factors that actually contributed to, me losing this friendship with somebody or breaking apart this friendship with somebody? Something that I've noticed between friends that tend to put each other in a box or in some sort of label is once you outgrow that label, right? Once you outgrow the conception of what that person thinks of you, then that's actually a threat to their ego, right? That's actually a threat to their self, because it essentially means that what they believed or what they thought about you is a lie, right? Or is starting to become untrue. And for their safety, right, they would love to put you back into that box, or they'd love to just have you be this static background character in your life that never changes. But that's not how that's not how people work. That's not how life works. And I've seen this time and time again, even in my own personal life, where the person conflates the friendship with the identity, right? The person conflates the friendship and ties it too strongly to the identity, so that once the identity changes, or once the identity is transformed, right? Somebody changes, goes through a personal transformation or change, that friendship is threatened. Again, it goes back to wanting to feel secure, right? It goes back to wanting to feel a level of certainty that you know somebody and that they're not going to change. And once that certainty is shattered, then the crisis comes in, right? Then the identity crisis of feeling like, oh, I thought I knew this person, but I don't really. And that is a threat to the person's ego, right? That is a threat to the person's self-conception, because it means that they are wrong in some way. They are wrong about this person, and therefore that introduces a level of unsureness in themselves. So that's one side of the party, right? Because it takes two to tango. That's one side of the friendship. On the other side of the friendship, where it is the perspective of the person who is doing more of the growing, more of the growth, and they feel like it's harder to relate to their friends in certain aspects. There's a few reasons for this as well. And when you start this journey of self-development and personal growth, you start to change your values, right? You start to change your beliefs. You might even question some of the thoughts and actions and decisions that you've made in the past. And one of the things that comes with this is recognizing that who you were, a couple months back, even a year or two, couple years back, is completely different than the person that you are today. And to a good extent, your friends have stayed the same, or they've done little to no growing. And it's almost like taking a peek back into the time capsule and seeing, who you were as a person back then versus who you are today, and recognizing that, there's a part of your friends that still wants you to stay stuck, right? Still wants you to stay the same person that they've always known. And there's an even bigger part of you that feels that you don't want that anymore, right? That's not something that you're willing to settle for. And change is inevitable, and you want to grow and you want to become, your fullest expression of yourself. It's always hard to let go of old friendships, right? Because they contain so many good memories. They contain so many experiences that you've shared with this person, right, over many, many years. And it's hard to sometimes let that go because there are so many positive memories that are associated with it. But I think it's a part of growing older. I think it's part of growing wiser as well, is recognizing that the people that you surround yourself with are the people who are going to have the most influence in terms of how you turn out. And one of the best things that you can do for your own personal growth and self-growth is to start to change who you surround yourself with, right? Start to change who you keep to be your close friends. And sometimes this process of evolving out of old friendships, sometimes it goes out with a bang, right? With a really big argument. I would say most times, majority times out of not, and this is again from my own experience, it sort of just fizzles out, right? The communication starts to slow down until it ends. And I think there is some merit. I think it's important actually to give your friend some sort of feedback, right? Give your friend some sort of sign that something in the friendship is not serving you or them in one particular way or another. And what this does is, number one, it shows that you actually care about the friendship. But number two, it gives them a chance to change, right? It gives them a chance to fix whatever is going wrong with the friendship. And ultimately, this is a test at the end of the day, right? To see if it's something that they, want to do, first of all, is to mend the friendship in some sort of way, or if they don't, right? And that'll give you a very clear answer as to whether or not you should continue to pursue the friendship. More often than not, I'll give the person more than a couple tries, right? Just so I can see and just so I can kind of gauge a baseline of how seriously they're taking something like this. And when I see that they're clearly not, then that's when I make the tough decision. That's when I make the tough call to slowly start to phase out the friendship on my end. And I know this can be quite a depressing topic, right? We're talking about breaking friendships, but I think there is always a silver lining to everything. And in this case, it's making room for the new people, the new friends that will enter your life right after a while. And hopefully those new friends are ones that inspire you to grow, right? Inspire you to be yourself, be authentic, inspire you to push yourself, to challenge yourself in any sort of way, and are there to support you and cheer you on through hard times as well. Here's a really great question that just came to the top of my mind. And this is a question that you can ask yourself when you are evaluating your friendships is, if I were to completely forget about this person, right? Like completely forget about our history together, our friendship, and I met them today, brand new, as a stranger, and I had an interaction with them, right? Would I still want to be their friend? Right? Is this somebody that I can see myself becoming good friends with? And that'll give you the answer that you're looking for. That's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching, thanks for supporting, and I'll see you soon.